like that's what Joe Rogan does, where it's like they're saying good morning to each other, and then we're rolling.
Yeah.
And that's like a little bit it. That's like and maybe a little bit more they do, but I love that.
Yeah, I like the soft start.
Soft start.
I think it's better.
Yeah,
I think it's better than.
I'm so weird about where I'm gonna put
Most girls don't get to see a soft start.
That's pretty funny.
Wonder how many girls have never seen a soft penis in their entire life. That's.
I would like to never see one in my entire life.
That's what I was like. I really do wonder.
I've had girls like really want to see like a soft
I
penis.
just
Yeah.
Rolodex through all of the soft penises that I've ever seen. I was like, God, I wish I could have
Roll
It's just
hilarious.
I've had girls say like it's like a turn on. They're like, it's great, you're hard, but like they want a soft start. they want that soft start.
I don't want to see it.
That's so funny.
They gotta know that they're the ones getting it there.
The best. That with the information age too, it could be the situation where you're on the porn and then send a little picture to a friend, and no, I didn't. I was just throwing that out there. But usually it's not really that you're thinking about that person. Just be like, let's see if I can get anybody else involved.
I like the ratio of how many times you have a boner towards somebody or how many times you have a boner and then somebody comes along. Like, or you're turned on.
Point.
Like, am I turned on because of you or am I turned on and then you happen to come in, or then I found you or you happen to come into the picture? I'll probably say, honestly, it's, at least for guys, it's probably more 70-30. Like, more, I'm like, I'm more turned on and then I'm like, who am I going to go find? As opposed to like I see someone and I'm turned on, I'm like I'm gonna get them.
Yeah.
If anything, it's I see someone get turned on by them, but then go over to someone else and be like, all right, this is more accessible.
That's like the reality of life. Yeah. What situation is that where you're like the bars? I guess. You can be like, oh fuck yeah, dude, let me go get this girl a drink.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm 20, everybody, so I'll be at the bar soon.
I was saying this in the last podcast. I've never bought a girl a drink.
Yeah, that sounds like a predicament. How's that gone?
I mean, I guess I've managed my.
It's not a great first start.
I've managed my expectation. It sets a precedent though. Like, hey, you're gonna like me.
Or my sister has had in a bar, no good. Those are the people that are gonna do coke next to like the 16-year-old daughter that's at the house.
I'll say no to a random drink from somebody at a bar if they offer it. But if I'm talking to a guy, it's nice if once we start talking or dancing or whatever, if he offers to buy me a drink, then I'm like, sure. And I don't think it sets too much. Well, I'm not that type of girl, but
as every girl says.
Well, I'm not. But
I'm just saying it's worth noting that very rarely will. Actually, I think nowadays girls are better at admitting when, they're kind of hoes, which is good.
wait.
Well, think about what it used to be part of.
I don't know what.
Why does that? So a girl who lets a guy buy her drink is a hoe?
Slut shaming.
No, I'm saying you know how you said when someone buys you a drink, you're not that kind of girl. You wouldn't have that expectation.
What I meant is that I am pretty independent financially, and so I don't expect a guy to pay for my drink. Not that.
Got it. You don't expect them to pay for it. It is nice.
Yeah, like if somebody offers me, that doesn't, in my mind, it doesn't mean, he's gonna buy me drinks for the rest of the night. I would probably be like, let me get you a drink next time. Like, that's what I would do, and that's what I said. I'm not the type of girl who, there are those people who are like, I'm broke and I need drinks, so I'm gonna get my drinks, or
very rarely. Well, who knows? Who knows?
Also, there's nothing wrong with those.
Nothing wrong with those.
I bet my mom and my sister, when they were going to the bar together, it was more along the lines of how cheap can I drink today?
Exactly. There are alcoholics who are on a mish to get as much alcohol for. I mean, it's fucking nice.
And they'll still spend $500 together. Easy.
I had a girlfriend, and she would, she's like, buy me a damn drink.
Take it down. Easy.
And she would try and convince me to let her go up to guys and like hit on them to get drinks. And I was like, you're not gonna go hit on guys to get drinks while I'm here. Oh, and she was hot as fuck. Of course it worked, but there's still I don't know. There's a precedent to it.
Sure.
That I was like,
your moral compass.
That's
I'm not allowed to throw a rock in the street light, but
the podcast is running. We've just been going soft start. We'll edit that out if you want. We just soft started it. Yeah, I didn't think you would care.
Get up here, Merlin.
But I just wanted to at least let you know.
Yeah, so I don't sue you for.
Everything we have, all the drinks I have.
Yeah. You're gonna buy me a drink at the bar.
Shit.
One of these episodes, we got to get some day drinking going.
Oh yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah.
I'm so down. I would love to do like a. Ooh, I would love to do. I'm just saying this randomly, like as when things get normal, like an excursion episode, like a camping trip.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely, that'd be fun.
Yeah, or just now we can do it whenever, but like a camping or excursion.
Yeah,
you know.
Episode I was talking about. I didn't.
Maybe we go on a trip.
Yeah.
Of undisclosed information, and
you guys don't know where we're at. We're in the woods here. We could. I saw some people. They were just set up, probably just to get some sun, in a parking lot near the Grove in Petaluma, and they just they got their car parked in the corner nearest the road out, and then they got like 2 camping chairs out, and then had them in front of the trunk, and they're just sitting there. That would be so cool for a podcast episode, an interview of someone.
Yeah.
And we'd have to test it out to see no road noise and stuff. You know? Go ourselves.
Road noise.
Road noise. Roadhead noise. What?
Road noise.
Road noise. Get Jack Black. Road noise. Get douche. I fucking love Jack Black,
awesome,
dude. One of the most.
Doing some
I saw him at
coronavirus
concert
stuff.
one time.
No way! Like Tenacious D?
Tenacious D.
Oh, that's
awesome.
sick.
BFD.
What's BFD?
What's that?
It's a big fucking deal. It's this like collaboration festival concert that they do at Shoreline every year.
Oh wow!
Ooh, Shoreline's sick. I like Shoreline.
Except for the
Shoreline
fucking parking lot,
amphitheater.
getting in and out of there, it's such a goddamn pain in the ass. It fucking makes
It's
me
human
cool.
operated and it's stupid. Like it's non. Yeah.
We did donuts in the grass field after a concert one night at the Shoreline
Like a little
because there's
sideshow.
only one road in and out, and it was just backed up, and we just couldn't sit there any longer. So we just
Fuck yeah.
did a bunch of donuts. Everybody was watching us, and then
I have
people were
such an
pissed. We
innocent
just
mind.
squeezed our way back in line where we were.
Hey, have your fun.
People were honking at us. We're like, "Fuck you! We're coming in."
Yeah, those exits are always so poorly maintained.
God,
It's a
horrible.
free for all.
It is, and it's like terrible. If there was an emergency, there is absolutely no evacuating that in a
No.
safe or timely manner.
Yeah.
Like,
what it makes you think, like, not to make it sad, like the Vegas shooting and shit like that at that
Yeah,
concert. What is the
totally.
exit
Well, think about the
strategy?
fires.
I mean, they're
You know,
they're on
fires.
whatever the requirements are, but then if you put it into real action, you know, they're like, oh, if there's a fire and it starts over here and we have to evacuate this section and then we'll evacuate the rest. Well, what if somebody has a motherfucking gun and they're shooting up the motherfucker and everybody's screaming and yelling and running? Do you have adequate exits for these people, you know?
Have you guys ever been to Lake Berryessa?
I've heard of it, never been. This
I
is me,
have
right?
been there many times.
Okay.
Did you go there back in the day? I don't know when they started.
Before
Before
it was a lake?
Before 2000.
Greater Berryessa?
Yeah.
Back in the day. When
It's,
is that reference of time?
I think
I'm just
before the
curious.
2000s. Before
the 2000s.
I'll fill you guys in.
The 90s. Was I
Um,
going to Lake Berryessa? No.
Okay. Well, before the 2000s or the 90s, they
So the
had.
80s.
You guys are gonna feel real silly. They in 19.
Oh, I
Soft
gotta go.
alarm. I'm listening.
Well, somewhere along the lines, FEMA came in with like the
What's
Coast
FEMA
Guard.
again?
It's
It's
the Federal Emergency blah, blah, blah thing.
Lake Berryessa used to be like a party town, and there's like 3 roads in, like one road in, one road out, another road out, another road in maybe. And there's like I don't know how many people living there, but my boss used to go there for construction when he was when he was growing up, and then when he would bring his kids there, and then in the 90s...
Federal Emergency Management Agency.
There you go.
In the 90s to like the 2000s or some shit, maybe earlier, the FEMA and like the Coast Guard came in, and they cleared out all the towns, because there's like towns in Berryessa, and it was like a party village, and they kicked everyone out. It was like trailer homes, like at least a couple thousand people living up there, and I have the numbers way wrong. It was a literal community, so they had to kick them all out, which was like a huge deal. But by the time the fires came 3 years ago, if all those people were still there, if they didn't spend that like 10 years like excavating the area of all those homes, and those people were allowed to live there still, they would have all died. Like no one would have gone out. It was already such a deal to get people out of Berryessa.
If there was an established community there, who knows how big it would be now.
What are you going to carve new roads through the mountain? I guess that's an option.
I mean, yeah, that's
what we do as
that's
humans.
why you make a road, but but I mean, if it was more established,
to look up how long it takes to carve a road through a mountain. I mean, it took them fucking 30 years to do the 101.
Yeah, no, I mean, even if there was just a couple thousand people that live there,
I think it was a lot.
Maybe they would have done fire management for, and so, you know, I'm just saying.
There's no fire management up there now. But yeah, it's like one of those things where you, like, I mean, in a different world, people could have really been hurt. And like, in a different world, we could have prepared for that many people to be in Vegas or that many people to be anywhere.
No, it's not. It's not.
Hey, that's why I yelled at him. Yeah. No, he's not supposed to be. You little explorer cat.
So cute.
Oh, poor guy.
We want to apologize to Murr too. I called him. I'm not we. It's hardly a we. I feel like I don't know if you feel responsible, but I do. I called our wonderful, mascot guest, local neighborhood cat who was here before me, Astray, and I just felt like I needed to apologize. So sorry, Merlin. Sorry, Merlin. Maybe we'll give you a little, like a GIF or a little face on our screen. I would love that.
I fucking love
just in the somewhere.
I'll send it to you.
You gotta get his
Snapchat.
His ears,
his
famous.
Wacko ears.
His battle scars.
He has serious battle.
I'm trying to find some information on when they. I guess in '69 there was a murder that could have been the beginning of realizing that they had a problem up in Berryessa. But he said it was just like a shanty town, man. Like you go up there,
lakes will be like that.
I'm sure it is kind of. It's like close to Napa, but it's also way the fuck out there.
Oh man, it's up there.
I've gotten lost driving out there because there is only like 2 or 3 roads.
Me and my boss got lost on the way back with like a $15,000 boat tied to the back.
I feel like exits are never really planned. Especially throughout history.
In my head, I thought of freeway exits. Just like, oh shit!
Just fucking turn it off when you're 10 feet from it. Yeah. You ever do a middle way cross? Oh, those are the worst.
You're like, well, if I don't make it, at least they have those water buckets there. I've seen it in a movie. They survive.
They always,
it's gonna make it
crash landing.
Haven't you ever seen Speed?
What are the movies where they're like on? Is Speed is with the bomb and the bus? And
no, it's
Speed,
another one.
No,
that was like 24-hour.
No, Speed's definitely the bomb on the bus.
Yeah,
when they have
John Cena.
Sandra Bullock.
No, not with John Cena.
Okay.
No, with Sandra Bullock.
Reeves. It was.
I haven't seen that one.
Are you fucking
great.
kidding me?
We could watch it as a family. It's a family. I loved that movie.
I had the poster.
Oh
when I was a kid in my room. Yeah.
It's Reeves. So good.
And Sandra Bullock. I fucking love it.
That's a childhood one for me.
Me too.
Yep.
I watched it a million times. I did watch it recently, but I'll watch it again.
Oh, cool.
I'm like, oh yeah, I watched it like 2 weeks ago. But
hey, I just caught up with Back to the Future yesterday.
Down. I know.
I love Back to the Future.
The beginning of Back to the Future is kind of strange, but once you get it looks like everyone's in a fat suit. If you watch it, I don't remember the ending and if they go how young, but it looks like everyone has a caked on fat suit. Even the skinny
since
dad.
It's older. You think they prepared for future production since they did go back and do it?
It's possible. I was thinking more like I didn't finish the movie.
That's a good point.
So yeah, that would be interesting. I was like, I didn't finish the movie and I don't remember it that well, so I don't know if they need to make the parents younger at any point except for their high school days, but they wouldn't, it's not the same people.
Yeah, they go back and
So,
forth
but it
and
looks
back
like
and
the
forth.
mom
I
and the
don't
dad
remember
are
too
wearing,
much.
and then the dad's skinny too. And it still looks like he has a caked on like fat suit.
Interesting.
And I'm like, what is this? And
I
the
don't
dad's
remember.
weird. Do you remember the dad?
I do remember the dad being a weird fucking character.
He's looking at the TV and stuff. He's
Yeah.
like, "What's going on?" Like he's one of the most ridiculous
Back
characters
to the
I've
Future.
ever seen in my life. Is that dad?
I had the Back to the Future box set, and then the whole robbery thing had to go.
Oh,
I loved Back to the Future.
I should have gotten fucking
I don't
low.
think I finished them since then. Because I don't remember what you're talking about with fat suits or anything.
well, it doesn't like it's maybe I'm just
Yeah.
judging it hard, you know. But it just looks like they have something like big on their face. Like if you pull it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna see
I
if there's
do
any
like the
videos or
beginning
what.
kitchen scene. Like there's
Okay.
a kitchen. Yeah, it's like the first one with the whole family. But what I was gonna bring up the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire.
I was watching something about that last night.
Were you really?
I was.
Ah, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
I'm watching this documentary about New York on Amazon Prime, just called New York City or something. And it's
Okay.
this PBS thing. And yeah, that came up.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
I learned about that in school a little bit.
Yeah, well, we teach about it. It's pretty hardcore. They got an
Absolutely.
insane documentary out.
Really?
That's free. It's
Cool.
on YouTube, and it'll make you sad. Like it makes you cry.
Yeah,
almost.
I only know the little this happened and then
Yeah,
these
yeah.
two dudes and this and that and yeah, I only know that stuff. They
Fuck.
locked them in. They were
Mhm.
union people that were wanting to like kind of break up the workday for the few months since they were rioting about fire hazards. And then in the little thing I watched, the people claimed that they're building like 4 days before. There were like 4 fires that year, and they were like, "Well, according to the law, our building's practically fireproof because there is like no law that would like specify what creates fire risk, you know."
Yeah.
So they were just free willy with all these kids, like kids.
14
kids. Only until after that were 14-year-olds not allowed to work in factories. So many laws. Were the suffragettes born of that as well in a way? I don't remember exactly what year that was. If it was after, it was before.
I
World
don't
War II.
remember the year the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory
I have
happened.
the Back to the Future kitchen scene.
Yes. Does it like look like to you? Like if you like look at this. It's actually not this one.
Okay, this
This is Back to the Future.
two.
Oh, part 2. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's in the very beginning, and it's in Back to the Future 1. Yeah, but let me look up when the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory is. So, do you know why they would lock the doors?
All I know is union workers is what they were saying. They were union workers that were trying to get into the building, so they had locked the doors.
So, completely untrue.
Oh, God.
It's even worse. It's so they wouldn't steal.
They couldn't leave with anything and come back
yes.
and shit? Oh my God.
The workers also had to buy all their own cloth and stuff. They had to buy their own machines. Well, actually not the cloth, but they had to bring their own machines and their own tools to make the shirts and the cloth and stuff. And they would lock the doors so the security guard could inspect them before they were to leave to make sure they didn't steal anything and try and sell it. And so that's why they would lock them. And you could also smoke in there. It was all fabric.
Yeah, that's how it started, right?
There was there was a fire in a wastebasket, and someone noticed, and apparently the whole thing happened. It happened in 1911, March 25th.
1911. Okay.
And apparently the whole thing happened with about 20 minutes.
All that within 20 minutes?
Mhm.
The fire escape breaking,
Yes.
the people falling.
The women going out in the fire escape, it not having
my
nearly
God.
enough weight support,
Rust.
then just falling down to the floor. The fire ladders couldn't reach the window. That was before they thought about like escaping, the exit route, right? They never thought about the fire ladder needing to reach the top building. So literally, these people were just jumping. They were jumping out windows. They were screaming. There was a mass grave on the sidewalk of this building because of this fire.
Just
because of people jumping out. They also took the elevator down, but the elevator was operated by like hand in a way, or like it was only like one elevator for the whole thing. Yeah, some shit. So women were cramming to get in there. It could only make 2 trips, I think, and then that's all.
I didn't even know how many trips. I just heard. Yeah, at one point
they made 2 trips, and then there wasn't going.
The documentary was so like skipping nilly.
Interesting. Yeah, I want to find the documentary for anyone who may be actually interested. I think it's just on YouTube. Let me look up the name here, but insane the amount of death and then I'm trying to remember if I think the walkout was after that, but that's when real change began. Was once the world could see it. That's when things actually started to change and rules and regulations, but it's still so slow. Sure, factory fire.
Yeah, like give the littlest amount of space to further euthanize the society, and then another 10 years will go by within the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
That's why when I hear people tell me not to worry about shit, I'm like, nope. I don't think we get that option.
Is there anything that you hear a lot that you shouldn't worry about right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always, like, from my family, I've always gotten the feedback that I, like, ruined my own life with, like, my choices of thought. Like, well, if you just decided to not be so judgmental of people in whatever way they feel I am, or if you didn't feel like you should take the world's problems onto your own, which is not what I do. It's just that I think further than, like, my doorstep, and they don't. So if I bring that up, then I'm bringing up something that completely should not be brought up. And, like, if it ends up being any point of, like, heat, then it's my fault because I should have never brought it up because it doesn't belong, you know? And it's like, that's not right. So that's one thing. And then with friends, I do feel that, like, you are kind of forced into this energy of, like, we're hanging out. So you have to be careful of what you bring up around certain people. Because not everybody wants to talk about anything.
Yeah. And I think it's important to respect that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why you pick the people you're around, and then that floats into learning to respect yourself, because you don't get to just cancel out the world because you want to focus on it. You have to, like, know people socially, and that to work out that muscle of, like, oh well, maybe I don't like everything this person says, but I have to listen, which I do very well at. But there's times, you know. I love this part. She just chucks the cake on the table.
Oh, you're still watching it?
Yeah.
Yes, this is the scene. This is the scene right here. Look, like she's like, look at her face. I agree with though.
Mom all the way.
Like that's strange. And then the dad. I don't know if you're gonna be able to. The dad is the goofiest motherfucker. Yeah, we can.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he turns,
I never really understood the dad. Oh, yep.
Like it looks like it's strange, right?
I don't know if they do have.
It's unnecessary makeup. It seems like
for sure. Up to the extent of, do they have something on their face other than makeup? Like it totally looks like they put fat sacks on her cheeks and then makeup.
Thank you. Yeah. I was tripping out. I didn't bring a lighter. Do you have a lighter?
Yeah, it's somewhere around here. And that brings me back to the thought that
here it is.
I don't know. I think that possibly they were preparing for the trilogy of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
How fast did they roll these fucking things out?
I always am baffled by how far out, do you have any idea how movies are made in that sense? Like, how far out do they have to think? Because, like, when I think of, like, Game of Thrones, right? Like, I'm like, did they schedule it from episode 1 all the way to the end? Do they only do it season by season? How big and how small do they get?
I don't know, like, a huge extent, but I have heard a lot of, like, interviews of, like, not only musicians, but like, actors where, like, if something does happen on set and like, filming gets messed up, then it will start being, like, taken out of your pay for the cost that's being taken out of production, because you're shooting on a set that is part of, like, a production company's warehouse or whatever, and that thing could be rented out next week. and you have to be done filming your shit by then. And if Larry gets sick, whoever, he's supposed to be producing, or he's the head actor, or he's the supporting role, and you don't have the money for like a good dupe, whatever those people look like. They like
a double.
A double. You can't get a double
Stunt
for
double.
back shots, or you can't rewrite to like make the scenes less of their face. And that's one situation. That's like someone being sick. So I would assume, shit. You have to prepare for stuff to break. You have to prepare for days to be lost. You have to prepare for no lunches. Like, I don't know.
See, that's a whole. Crazy. I was thinking just the plot. Like, how far out do they plan the plot? But what you're saying, I can actually attest to, and that I dated a girl for a while who was like an actress and a model, and she would. I'm status dropping. Hey, when I started dating her when I was 19, it was the most juiced thing to say, I am dating an actress and a model.
Was that the nice woman with the kid?
No,
oh,
I don't.
Man.
No one has a kid.
Oh, I thought you dated a girl with a kid.
No.
Oh
no kids. Only kids in my job force.
From the attic at night.
The troll.
Conversations. Yeah.
Fuck. What I was saying. It was before. It wasn't about the girl. What are we talking about?
Acting, and she was
yes. So how I could relate to just the process of filming and acting. She kind of helped sign us up for these roles on a TV show with Hugh Lowry. It's like it was some luck show. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. Maybe, but it was cool. We didn't actually get to see him or anything, but it was an SF. We got there super fucking early in the morning, and we were there all day, like up until like it was fucking dark, and we filmed a 30-second scene that entire day. They rented out the hotel lobby of this hotel the entire day. They had to have something like a chandelier, like fake drop, and literally it was a 30-second scene. We were in 3 or 4 of the scenes. When we saw it on TV, it was the briefest. We weren't in it. Everything had been shortened and cut out, and it was literally like the hard, like it was so hard, and it was 30 seconds.
What?
And it wasn't even the real show. It was like a cut scene, so it was even like less, and I was like, holy fuck. Yes. And you wonder, like, yeah, all that.
This is the guy from Doctor.
There's a spider on that couch. It's been walking. If you move the pillow, you'll see it. I don't know. It's not. It's on the cushion. You're good. I just seen it walking around you.
What was his House? He was in House?
Yes, yeah. But he had a different show after that.
No, yeah, this wasn't House. Was this Chance?
It's right here. Chance. Yep, that's it. Yeah, and if you can even see it, it's the chandelier scene. Yeah. It's like this chandelier scene, but regardless, it was the most extensive thing ever. And dude, if I was gay, I would have been so hooked up. There was so many dudes hitting on me. Like
at this Chance thing.
Yes, yeah. At this Chance audition in SF. I don't know what it's really about. We were just extras. And it was funny too, because I had no idea what I was doing.
She set this up for you?
Yes, and she was there too. No, right? She was there. And
for both of you.
Yes, yeah, sorry. But I had no idea what to do. And once they split us up,
oh no,
I was like, huh?
Yeah.
And so they put me in this spot, and apparently, when they say like extra ready or some shit like that, that's my cue. No one. This is universal. This must be universal, because I stood there for 3 takes like a fucking idiot, not knowing I was supposed to move. I stood there with professionals. Everyone moved. Everyone moved. They're gonna tell me. They're gonna tell me. And by the third one, they're like, why aren't you going? And I was like, no one's told me when to go. And they're like, this is your cue. And then I wasted 3 fucking, at least. They're like, this guy gotta get the fuck out of here. But they kept me and I kept going, but then they cut me out.
And that means you like wasted shots for everybody?
Everybody's
going back.
Probably about $5,000.
So funny, dude. And they have to prepare for that. Doubles.
Like, well, they probably just expected me to know what the fuck I was doing. But I guess that's what happens when you do things and you think it's cute, but it's people's real business.
That's a terrible story of someone trying to make something cute that was like business.
Well, like, I didn't know.
For some good stuff.
Well, yeah, and but like it happens. Cute, like people that it's not it's not as serious.
Where am I? Yeah, you gotta be pretty serious about modeling. I modeled for when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
Some like catalogs.
What were they called? It's the 3 Tommy Hilfiger.
Okay.
Yeah, Nevada. We did those. I have some pictures. And then there's like this mall thing that we did. I always wanted to be a model for some reason. I was like, oh, people don't look at
Can you speak up a little, Zach?
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I always wanted to be a model for some reason. So I looked up the Chance thing. Looks like it's about some doctor stuff.
Oh, is it still?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Oh,
is it Hugh Lowry's?
It is.
Right? Okay, so as long as it's Hugh Lowry.
It was, yeah.
Then okay, yeah.
In San
Still
Francisco.
doctor? God.
Yeah, another doctor thing. It's about like neurology and
pick
like,
the same fucking shows.
Yeah, no, you find your role as an actor. Seriously, you see that a lot. I feel bad for some actors. They're just like doing the same role 10 years, and I'm like, oh man.
Like I feel like Jonah Hill had it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He had up to it.
Yeah, it's like get out there and act, fucking idiot. He's like, thank you.
Well, I feel like he just naturally got put in the stoner fat kid role.
It's sad,
right?
Because he wrote Superbad at like 16.
Talent.
Like
insane.
I don't care what that movie's about. You know?
Insane.
And then Jonah Hill's the guy that wrote. Oh no, that's Seth Rogen that wrote the. It was like the animation movie. Did you ever see that?
Oh, that was off the mark for me.
It was crazy. Me too. Yeah. It was crazy. My mom.
I expected one thing and got something else.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I've seen too many sex scenes with fruits and vegetables.
Too many guavas and kiwis.
Too many guavas and kiwis. Hot dogs and buns having sex. I love the part with the Indian dude, and he's like going into like
the story,
the whole story of the supermarket. That was fucking funny. If they had stuck with stuff like that, I would have really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's like shock factor. How many times can we say "fuck" in this movie without them barring it?
Yeah. But then Jonah Hill did what's the movie you always like to talk about, Wolf of Wall Street. Do you remember him? Yes. Yeah, he was the guy with the white teeth. You fucking look at you like that, you know?
That's a good point. He was in a good one.
Yeah, his teeth were huge. I couldn't stop staring at his teeth, which is, I guess, what you wanted to do. I was thoroughly confused.
I didn't have my...
But it was really good. He was kick-ass in that movie, actually.
Wolf of Wall... I love that movie.
Yeah, he's totally in it.
Yes, no, I remember now for sure. My computer... I need to give my computer a second.
Oh, okay.
He also did a little more recent, War Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That one's really cool.
Who's he in that with? Do you remember?
I don't know this guy's name, no. But
I feel like it was someone other famous. But that was a decent movie. Famous. It wasn't my favorite, but it was decent.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was a good one with him in it.
Yeah. I wonder if he had any production value in that. I wonder if he did anything on that side of the
Yeah, like...
production value. How much are you worth, Jonah Hill?
Yeah,
what are you bringing to the table here?
I've seen him in some interviews where he gets pretty pissed off at people for just treating him like he's a fat stoner.
Yeah, my old coworker, he was a Jehovah's Witness, and he would just talk about like he would go off on tangents about like society, and then be like, see, like Jonah Hill, you know, people think it's okay to have a character like that, like, you know, just like the fat stoner people, like, and then he'd be like, people think it's okay to be like that, and I'm like, it
is okay to be like that. But it is okay to be like that, too.
That's why it's okay. It's a movie. Like, what? You couldn't live out his life. I mean, it's a movie. It's crazy to me. To start doing stuff like that with your brain. That's where, like, my family might have been thinking I was at. Where it's like, don't do stuff like that with your brain. But that's not the same thing.
My family gives me similar things.
And thinking about how people shouldn't act like Jonah Hill are different things. Right now, actually, I have I'm on Al Jazeera, the news network I told you I like. I picked an article for the day. It says Trump rogue group behind plot to overthrow Venezuela president.
I'm gonna pull up Venezuela on a map. I like to. I have a world map and a United States map in my bathroom now, which are great tools. I love to learn. No better place to learn when you're in your bathroom. But I've been studying the maps and trying to get locations, so I have a good idea.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
I gotta get. Oh, I bet this computer has quite the fucking Google Earth. That is so exciting.
I bet you it absolutely does.
I was talking to an old lady that works with my client the other day about Google Earth, or like 2 weeks ago, because she was like, I can't get on Google Earth anymore.
Fuck, Venezuela's gorgeous, dude. I'm already and just seeing some pictures easy.
I know it's an oil state.
Yeah. So what's the headline again?
There's a rogue group plotting to overthrow Venezuela president, and Trump has released a statement about it.
What's he say?
President Donald Trump on Friday reiterated that the United States government was not behind a bungled incursion into Venezuela this week, allegedly to overthrow President Nicolas Maduro, saying in a Fox News channel interview that he would not rely on a small group for such an operation. Oh my.
For such a what?
For such a small operation. So he didn't say that no one would.
He's such a troll.
I know nothing about it. I think the government has nothing to do with it at all, and I have to find out what happened. Trump said, if we ever did anything with Venezuela, I wouldn't do it that way. It would be slightly different. I would be called an invasion. It would be called an invasion. Trump said the incursion was not a good attack. Obviously not. They are calling it an incursion. This thing failed hardcore. Nicolas Maduro's smoking a cigar. Okay, no, that's a microphone. It says Maduro right here, just like, haha, bitches.
Okay.
You guys failed. But yeah, I have heard a little bit about Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. He's one of those people, I think he's one of the dictators that open up those they're like private tax trading organizations, so that they like take the state tax, put it into a private shell company so that they can trade with it universally with like open markets and whatever, and then they just end up sending it off.
Okay. It says right here that Venezuela is a federal presidential republic.
That's like a dictatorship.
Venezuela has a presidential government. The I don't know why I can't say it. Economist Intelligent Unit rate Venezuela an authoritarian regime in 2019. So was there just talk of a coup?
I think they caught 2 people that were
attempting to assassinate him.
They were in Venezuela.
Could I pull up the article as well? Where is it?
Al Jazeera, ALJAZEERA.
I should have I had it right there. Al Jazeera, Venezuela.
They're good stuff.
Yeah. And then where would I find wherever you're at?
You can. I think there might be a search bar, and you can look up Venezuela.
All right. Yeah, let's.
Venezuela.
This is what we do with my students in class.
Yeah, they all have laptops, huh? Those Google Chrome laptops or something. Those are great. They're like $89, man.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're pretty incredible laptops. See if I'm still recording.
Well, yeah, you should still be in there.
We're still recording.
It's bad I don't really know how to spell Venezuela. Help me out here. Venezuele. Venezuela.
I forgot. I lost track of
Venezuela. Okay, got it.
EUL.
Report opposition plotted Maduro overthrow or Trump. That one. Okay.
Trump wrote.
Ooh. May 6th, Venezuela broadcast video of captured U.S. mercenary.
I know, dude.
See, that's...
They hang them high. And it looks like, yeah, this...
See, look at this. That's more... I think that's super interesting. Well, let's check out the one today. And then I want to see that one, too.
Could have been part of the same
Venezuela opposition plotted Maduro overthrow. A 42-page document deals a blow to the credibility of opposition leader Juan Guaido, who has denied any links to the plot. Members of Venezuelan's opposition in October negotiated a $213 million deal with a small Florida security company to invade the country and overthrow President Nicolas Maduro, according to a document published by the Washington Post on Thursday. Venezuelan authorities this week arrested more than a dozen people, including Americans who work for the company Silver Corp USA. Have any idea what that is?
No, I've never heard of that.
I haven't either. Be interesting. It does. As part of a bungled, and here's your part, incursion that has served as a public relations victory
easy
for
now,
Maduro's...
Easy now. You're gonna get him over here. I had no part.
No. This is the sentence you said.
I know.
Yeah. I was like, we're matching up. Relations victory for Maduro's struggling government. This document deals a blow to the credibility of opposition leader Juan Guaido, who denied any links to Silver Corp or any involvement in an attempt to remove Maduro by force.
I'm opening.
Are you looking up Silver Corp force?
I'm trying my computer. I need to give it a second again. But
okay.
I have a report open.
You
Venezuela opposition plotted Maduro overthrow. So I'm gonna look into more information on like that Guido dude, because it sounds like he might have had a little bit to do with it.
Well, I don't know what source this is, but Bellingcat News.
I wouldn't listen to that.
But it says the invasion of Venezuela brought to you by Silver Corp USA. So we're gonna get a really biased.
I told him to keep scrolling.
We're gonna get a really biased.
That sounds all bad.
Thing here.
Yeah,
this isn't pretty.
You already looked up Silver Corp?
Unsuccessfully.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
My computer caught
Risk Management United States, Silver Corp USA Inc. This could be something.
Silver Corp Snopes.
I don't see. It's so hard to research shit sometimes.
They don't
man.
want you to. You really have to find your sources and like go off of that. I'm trying to think of what databases. Like I don't know, Silver Corp. You can look into the. I like use keywords, Silver Corp, government, contracts. See if they
stock open lower. Indices embezzled. All right, I can't find anything about it, but maybe you're gonna be better than I am.
It has.
I'm not here. Internet savvy.
A little bit.
Very well.
Yeah, you could. I'm not. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I was on the other side of like you teaching the kids. I was being taught by some people that were in the same.
Is that your Bluetooth speaker?
Yeah, this thing died.
Cool.
Power off.
The invasion of yeah.
Bellingcat.
All this shit's coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, Bellingcat.
That's what I.
Excuse me.
That's what I was like.
Silvercoremetals.com.
Yeah, I was like, that looks. Nah. I don't know what it is.
Marketwatch.com looks.
It'll take a deeper dive. We need a.
Stocks.
Now I feel terrible. What's his name? Jeremy?
Nate. Oh no. Jeremy. I think.
Yeah, from the Rogan Show. The Rogan Show. That's brutal.
Okay, so they have more names too. So this is like a little thing we'll have to do. So I went to the bottom. Their real names. Pan American Silver Corps.
Maybe so.
And then you go to the bottom again. Pan American Silver Corps News. Pan American Silver Corps Bars. The other one had lawsuits. So you can look at their lawsuits. I'm from
Well, hopefully we figure it out.
Yeah.
Then we'll...
Silver Corps Metals lawsuit. Here we go.
Oh, cool.
Actions discontinued. Ontario court. See how many. I mean, look. So right here we got a guy jailed in China, a guy a court case in Ontario.
That's a weird fucking
two different
front.
Little bit different places they're dealing with here. They're all over the place fucking up. Silver Core class auction discontinued, payment of $470,000, which isn't that much.
No, but of course not.
Yeah.
It's almost it's even more precarious.
Sports players. I was on my way to work once and I broke down like some number I heard for a sports player package, and I was like, that's a measly income almost. It was like
how much sports players were making.
Yeah, I mean, they don't get to live crazy until they start really making money.
Yeah, well, until they're famous, not just skilled. They're all skilled. It's when they become marketable and famous. You know, that's why absolutely. I was hearing a good point. I think on How Neil Feel with Neil Brennan. He was making a good point. Yeah, he's a co-producer of I'm maybe using producer wrong of the Chappelle Show. But he has his own podcast or whatever. But he was saying like people, like some people, like Steph Curry, just naturally is a lot less marketable, even though he's so fucking good, than people like. Well, like I don't know, like Michael Jordan and shit, and LeBron James and stuff like this. You can even see the ones like going to like social media more, and it's like obviously, you know, he's at the top of his skill, which is fine. But if you just lower his skill level a little bit, he's immediately a nobody. As opposed to, I feel like if you have someone like LeBron James or someone who's like. Maybe if you lowered LeBron James' skill, he would still be somebody because he has that marketability, that kind of craziness, you know?
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Just as far, it's
commoditization.
Mm-hmm. Of people. We're talking like we're talking about that with like college sports.
I was just gonna say with college sports, it's a problem. It's a problem. I think where I fear, get away. Where I fear is like.
The fucking bee whisperer over here. I loved it. That was awesome.
And it's gone.
Okay.
You gotta give it a kiss. They feel stuff that we don't know we're sending out.
That was so weird. I'm glad we got that on camera. I gave it a kiss. Oh, God. Whew. Okay, that's cool. We got bees and cats.
If bees were a person, they'd be like that lady you don't really know but calls you sugar. You know,
like a good lunch lady.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about it, sugar. I'll give you an extra scoop. Oh man, did you have good lunch ladies growing up?
Yeah, they were kind of cool. We also had like this program thing with the school I was going to here in town, where like you could kind of choose once a week to go work in the lunchroom.
Oh, okay.
Right before lunch. Mm-hmm. I loved doing that.
Fuck
I was always so stoked, and they were pretty sweet. Yeah. And then even Casa Grande High School, kind of cool. They were kind of dope.
Yeah?
Yeah, they would all like, you'd see them smoke their cigarettes when they're like taking their break, and you'd just be like, how bad could you be? Right? Like, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing.
It's doing exactly what most people want to be doing.
Yeah, one of the yard duties had a second job here in town. She was like one of the secret cops for one of the stores.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a hot topic. Because it created a worse image for her, but it's like, dude, she's a yard duty all day, and then she goes and does like another job.
Yeah.
And she was like kind of like the hardcore one. It's just interesting. We all talked about it quite a bit because people would talk shit about her, like, oh, of course. And I was just thinking like, Jesus Christ.
It's high schoolers are brutal.
They were brutal to me, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those where I feel like it's a lot of fucking luck how your high school career goes. Like, there's a little bit of creation there, you know, there's a little bit of if you dream it could happen, but there's also just like, people get fucked, man. It's, even like as kids are maybe even worse because they don't always know. High schoolers, they don't always know either, to be honest. We want to say they should be this responsibleness, but they don't normally know what they're doing, at least in the reactionary ways. I did want to bring up, though, when you were talking about the the security guards or whatever at the high school, smoking. It's fun, like, being a younger teacher, because I get to talk to the older teachers that have been teaching for a while, and, like, went to school back in the day, and, like, They say like the seniors used to have a smoking section at the high school. So like once you were a senior, you had there was a senior smoking section that you could go out to, and you could actually chill out there and go smoke a cigarette. And everyone else had to, you know, try and like hide it in the bathroom and some shit, and try not to get caught. And they would get punished.
Wow.
But the seniors, yeah, and then they finally closed those down. What are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on all this no tobacco, campus free?
I think it's a war on drugs. But I was thinking, I don't know. Yeah, I think we're taking the wrong steps. I do find that, like, I smoke tobacco. I use the tobacco pouch. And, like, I'm 20. I can't buy cigarettes myself unless I find a shop that I can. And,
did you get any access to that?
No. As soon as I turned 18, yeah, it changed.
Jumped. Fucking chasing it. It's gonna be 25 when you're 21.
I know. I knew a lot of 15-year-olds, dude, that like were vaping already and smoking cigarettes when they were in middle school. I met them in high school and they were still smoking cigarettes, still vaping, and it's not like the vapes we have now is like the vapes, like the mods, like everybody had mods. So everybody had mods, and I never smoked them. I like started smoking cigarettes, I think I was like a junior. And like, I don't know, I think it's a good idea to like, I do think kids need to change their mind, you know? And like, if 15-year-old kids now can't get cigarettes, yeah, that's good. But at the same time, now they're still getting so many jewels and stuff that it doesn't make a difference. Now they're just smoking this candy that like has metal in it. And
is it easier to get a jewel?
Somehow. I don't know. Yeah.
I think they're just more popular. It's technology. Cigarettes are like
You're right. Yeah, I don't think it's easier, but
cool.
People are smoking.
Jewels are cool. No, fuck that shit.
People are still smoking tobacco. Like it didn't do shit. So if the law change didn't do anything, what is the school law gonna change?
Yeah, I think it's just like on a college campus, you're gonna tell.
Are you talking college?
I'm talking college. On nearly every college campus, I think in California, it's smoke free.
Ugh.
There's no vaping. There's no smoking. There's no even sections. There's not even sections where they'll let you smoke.
That's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
If you talk about a war, high school, of course. You take away the option, make it difficult. But college with adults, this is a thing that you could do because they know that it's the people they're not trying to, it's not about the student, it's about the parents paying for the colleges kind of, and it's also about so it's about the parents paying, and it's also about the people giving money to the college and the look of the college. They don't care about the struggling people that are paying for it on their own. Those people will get silenced because who cares?
Not at all.
They just care about the parents of the young ones. That's why and then also because it's like, oh, look at this, honey. This college has no tobacco, so Johnny won't smoke get persuaded to smoke cigarettes.
He'll smoke his cigarettes.
He'll just study on up and he'll go right through and he'll feel good. He's going mad. Exactly. But yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Like, I remember when I was in college, they broke our bongs. When we were in college, I mean, to be fair, we were on their campus, so like but fuck it, like it was so dumb, dude. Like I open up the door and this chick, one of the RAs was right there, and she sees these fucking bongs, and she's like, "I see them." Like they, and then we were like, "What do you mean?" Like I was like, "You didn't see shit." Like I closed the door, like, and she like threatens to call the cops. She does, because we were fucking pissed. My roommates were a lot. One roommate was smart, at least. He just grabbed his shit and left, and I was like, smart. Before anyone got there, and they can't stop you, you know.
No.
But yeah, they broke. Actually, just one of my roommates too felt pretty shitty, but they broke his bong and his dab rig. But we were stubborn, so we went back into the dumpster and got like we got a bowl piece, and we got like the actual metal fucking, I think like a rig with it. It was petty, but this fucking want to control adults, especially like it's been a tobacco. Like, it's been around forever. Like, I get it, you know, don't sell it to kids. The fact that they made it 21, I think, is still ridiculous. Actually, I think it should still be 18. It's still, like, I mean, I don't know. It's a choice. I get it. Try and control people and hope you can, but you can't.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't control people.
The only people you're going to control
society
are people with a really strong conscience that say that the people that will stop they're controlling the people that'll stop at a red light in an intersection in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Those are the people. Nowhere. Because it's a law, they'll respect it.
Yeah.
And that's the people they're stopping. And maybe, you know, cool. But anyone that actually is like, fuck a rule that don't make sense, which I'm sometimes on board with, fuck a rule that don't make sense. Mm-hmm. Like, you gotta get there sometimes. You can't follow every rule. Like, I've jaywalked. I'm gonna give it up now.
Yeah, jaywalking, and then it's about like, what way do you look at institutions? Like, how much is necessary? How much is like this like convincing that we need it to be there? Like tuition. I was reading something. I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm reading about Silver Core.
Oh fuck yeah! Any updates?
Yeah, they have like they're strongly backed by the United States. Strongly backed.
And is it a metal company?
Yeah, it's a silver company. It's like a silver bar.
Silver bullets.
Hey, seriously.
Getting vampires.
And like there was like a legislator who is like fucking fighting for him recently, and then their stock shot up like 260% in the last 5 years. And they're involved in this Venezuela shit. Yeah. What the fuck?
It's scary.
What was I about to look up?
You were going to look up. Help me backtrack with you.
We were talking about this colleges and the tuition.
Yes, you're going to tell me about something tuition.
Yeah, I was listening to a documentary on Vice, and there was like some bored dude, and he was saying that the tuition rate the cost to the colleges and the amount that they're paying those costs is like 80% sports, 20% student tuition. So
say that one more time for me.
The sports are paying 80% of the college's taxes, and students are paying 20% of the college's taxes. After they gather their taxes from the students, tuition, board, food, add-on meals, you know, all whatever, parking, that only 20%. And it used to float around like 60-40.
Not all schools, 30. Though.
He was talking about like United States institution base. Yes, there are going to be schools that are different, but like the total over the years, the total rate of payments to tax whatever throughout all the colleges over the last like 40 years went from like 70-30 to 80-20.
Wow.
And I'm a 80%.
Yeah, I wish I'm so pampered. I don't know what my college costs hardly. I think it was about $5,000 a semester. It was either $5,000 or $10,000. I don't know if it was, I want to probably say it's about $10,000 a semester. Does that make sense? Or yeah, that makes more sense.
10,000 sounds much more.
10,000 a semester, I think is about where it was at. I know Sonoma State, I think I don't know as far, because they don't make money off their sports at all. Like, there's no chance. Like I was saying earlier, I think the arts. Like, I think I watched Ice-T speak there. That was pretty interesting.
Think
and
about where
bringing
we
that
are,
shit
too.
in.
We were talking about San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, I'll bring that up after. What would Ice-T talk about?
He talked about I was pretty lit, but regardless, he talked about his time on like the TV show. Well, I don't know the name of it. I didn't watch it. He's on some TV show.
The Masked Singer or something.
No. Old one. It's a cop show. Like he's a cop.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it's Ice-T. It's not
Oh, it's Ice-T. Yeah, he was on like NCIS.
Yes. Yeah. And then
Ice-T got that fool ended up doing a bunch of shit.
Yeah. No. He
Ice-T.
I don't know much about him. I honestly still, but apparently he's done a lot, and he was a rapper back in the day. Looks like he got a little less thug, but he's still doing his thing. And he doesn't want to get confused with who's the other guy if it's not Ice-T. Ice Cube. He's not Ice Cube.
He's not.
He's Ice-T. Ice Cube goes into Ice-T.
He's got some TED Talks.
So yeah.
Clicked it, damn it.
I bet you that'd be an interesting listen to a TED Talk. But I think it's what he did.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of stuff.
Like
what is Ice-T's net worth?
I don't know.
It's 40
He's married
million.
He's married to that blonde
Dude,
chick, right?
Fucking Coco.
Yeah, Coco.
Bitch, bro. Oh,
white girl,
God.
black name.
Oh, man. Ice-T loves Coco. I think they have a show. Ice loves Coco.
Ice loves Coco?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, he speaks keynote speaker for Buru.
He's a good speaker.
Yeah.
Very impressive, but he was a rapper, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
up his old,
that helps with
I looked
speaking.
up him speaking at colleges. Let's look up Ice-T rap career. Because I'm sure he was part of some serious change.
He used to go. He told us some good old stories. I forget what it is. Some hood tales.
He looks like he looks like he would fall over.
What do you mean? Let me see.
His head's huge.
His head looks like a balloon that's on the way to expanding. It starts small. That's hella funny. All love. We don't know him. That's pretty funny. That first picture, the first one that comes up, it's almost cartoonish. You're right. Absolutely good. Reminds me of the fun way to like flip people off, like
yeah. He's in the
crank it up. I've seen the little one.
Yeah.
Or you just leave it there. That's funny.
So with the tuition fees,
yeah,
getting a little bit here. Not quite along the exact words I was saying, but there's some stuff, some hidden figure. College students may be paying thousands in athletic fees and not know it. And that's another thing.
I could see that.
Athletic sports in this college. I was watching specifically this part. He was like talking about their college, their university, and he was like, "Yeah, our sports has been positive financially for like 10 years or so."
Mm-hmm.
And then it's paying for all these fees for the college. So it's like, holy shit, that's like a money-making ball if it's paying for itself.
Football
it's
or basketball?
for the colleges. Probably both. And then I wanted to talk about, we're in Sonoma County. That's probably why it's an art school. Because, you look at Sonoma County, just always looking stuff up here. Sonoma County, the census, I was looking through my work made me a course. I had a course through for the census so that I wasn't, like, surprised by my students. What would it be called?
Like
biodiversity,
situations, demographics.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for. So we were looking through it, and like, I was like completely shocked by the population rate white ratio to non-white in Sonoma County and how high it is. I had no idea.
What you mean, white being super high in the everything?
Yes, it's like 97%.
I believe it. Wait, in schools, at colleges?
It's just people that filled out their census living in Sonoma County.
People.
It was like,
wow.
Yeah, it was like, it would be, I was scrolling through it. Sonoma County was not the first county I looked at. It was so far in. But it was like all the United States counties are like where our schools are. Mm-hmm. And I would just click, next screen, census, Arizona. But 30% this, 40% blah, blah, blah. And like Arizona, huge amount of Spanish people, and then you like go to like a specific part of Arizona, huge amount of white people, and like Sonoma County rivals only like a few counties I looked at.
That's incredible. obviously it's not completely accurate, but it speaks. It is accurate in
know,
that it's
like the
speaking.
number 97. Yeah.
Like
even if it's 90, holy shit.
Well, it's either we have there's other races and like we think there are in a way, and they're just either not filling it out for whatever reason, or they don't have access to fill it out for whatever reason, or whatever the reason is, which is interesting in itself to study. Like, this is as history what we do. We study, or sometimes, and it gets fun, you study old census type stuff, or you'll look at like a ship log, and you'll be like, what did they bring, what didn't they bring, and what could you see like through the lines, It's like in this case, I don't know, what do you think it's accurate with the 97%? I don't know where I am. I'm a little bit like, maybe it is, but I feel like we have more of a diverse demographic. Well, yeah. It's tough. But I guess we live around a lot of white people, that's for sure, I think.
Yeah, I think we definitely do comparatively. If there's San Jose, San Bernardino, SLO, San Francisco, which is a hugely diverse space, but now that it's like technology and money, not quite as much, because it's not like it's not that Sonoma County housing characteristics: white, non-Hispanic 83%, Hispanic 10%, other races 4%. This census for 2006 to 2010, it wasn't 90% for white, non-Hispanic. It is population in 2012 of Sonoma County, 28%, 11%.
Do you remember? I was gonna ask you if you remember what your school experience was like, as far as your population.
Like demographics.
Yeah.
The sports players were all like pretty, either Spanish or like European white.
What about the schools?
A lot
as
of
whole?
Spanish. A huge Spanish population.
Okay. At both, or?
At both, yeah. Especially Roanoke Park. In elementary school, huge Spanish population. Almost all the friends I still know from elementary school are like from Spanish families or some sort of Spanish like descent. And then our like if there was like a star Victorian or so for elementary school, like it was Lily Luau, or she was genius, just super genius. And she was like Polynesian.
Okay.
And she won like when they were reading out all the awards when we graduated, every single award.
It happens like that.
Lily, I was like, oh my god.
Just takes them all.
Yeah, dude, it was
My
crazy.
stepsister was pretty amazing. Growing up like that shit. Like, she was an award winner for sure. Like, there's some people just excel at institutionally created things. Like, my sister's also great with, like, I don't know about great. She's good with the street smarts and stuff. She got that shit down. But like institutionalized smarts and like, whew.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone so successful.
Is huge.
Yeah.
It's important. Absolutely. I met a girl on Tinder last night who we'll cut this out.
Okay.
Who's like she's going to school in DC. And has like a friend, like she.
Let me get a timestamp. We're cutting it out.
Yes, absolutely. I just don't. I broke up with my ex like 3 months ago. I don't need to be talking about Tinder on my podcast.
108.
108. Yeah, she's doing some crazy shit in DC, like Arabic studies, Middle Eastern communication, global economics. And like she's going to school at George Washington University in DC, and like that takes like institutional like intuition.
Yeah, my mom was fucking good at that shit with, again, like I said, valedictorian and all that. I feel like I was going somewhere, but I don't know. Are you looking something up right now?
I'm on the census.gov.
Oh, okay. if I think about like my own experience, I guess, as far as childhood, I had my most, I don't know, yeah, I definitely had my most diverse friends. I kind of only had friends at like an elementary school and then at the end of high school.
Okay, my stomach just dropped. Ugh.
What?
Ugh.
What are you seeing? What are you seeing?
Okay, so I'm wrong. It's not 97%, but it's 86%.
Yeah.
86.8% white alone.
Sonoma?
For Sonoma County. That's a lot of fucking people. Black or African, 2.1. American Indian, 2.2. And this is census.gov. We could even link this that I'm looking at on the page, because like this is what I love. Legit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like you said, not legit, because people can't fill out the census.
Yeah, but still.
People don't want to fill out the census. It's not gonna, they're gonna have ICE or...
Did you fill it out? I filled out one. Yes. I got like an email and I was like, okay, I'm doing this, I guess. Letting the people know where I'm at.
I filled out like my household like census information a few times. I didn't send back like census paperwork now. But like when I feel like when you do your license and stuff, I thought, and like when you vote, it was like who's in your household. That's what I thought.
I got an email.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have my email hooked up on government shit. Or maybe I do.
I don't know, but I filled one out.
Some shit, dude. 86%.
I told them I was white.
So if there's 86% white population in Sonoma County, and Sonoma States and Sonoma County, then like it would only be clear that like sports aren't going to be huge, because sports, it's obvious, circleize around inner communities or inner states or low income communities. If it's not like, I mean, tennis might not be true, skiing might not be true, lacrosse, I think that's like that might be a gray area statistic wise. Lacrosse.
I think lacrosse is the whitest sport in the world. It's the whitest sport in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so white.
Yeah, I would imagine. But yeah. I in my head it would be cheap, maybe, for a school team to have lacrosse in Arkansas or wherever, Arkansas, or like Kentucky City. But Kentucky City, that's where like football's at, and that's also where there's a lot of like gentrified populations that are totally like removed or isolated. I mean, I was listening to a news thing, and when the law was changing, one of the laws that got slid in by the tobacco companies was that in inner cities, the amount of space between a school and a tobacco shop is like half. So that's like a small,
because there's a legal distance they have to be.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's like a small thing.
It's halved around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Hook 'em. I know that. Oh, it's Spider. That's what it is.
No, you're good.
So I think that would definitely like guide the school toward art, technology.
Because we're white?
If you want to say that. White.
Well, that's the stat we're looking at, right?
Yeah, and that could also mean that we have Silicon Valley here. We have Apple here. We have Tesla here. We have Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, Uber.
In where?
Lyft.
California?
In San Francisco. Those San Francisco, San Bernardino.
But San Francisco's schools are still sports focused too. Like there's heavy, and SF sports are big.
But how often?
And like Berkeley,
how often do you hear about SF College going up against? Well, Berkeley. How often do you hear about what is their football team name?
The Cal Bears, Berkeley. The
Bears? Oh, okay, yeah, you do hear about the Bears a lot.
Huge.
They are fucking great.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I would compare them to the Sentinels in Florida. Fucking amazing team. And like, I don't know about the last 3 years, but when I was watching college football, they were in the championships like every single year. And then it was like Crimson Tide too.
Yeah.
And I mean, Florida is we can do the same thing for Florida. That's a large Cuban, Spanish, Dominican, and black population comparatively to white by far. And if there are white people in Florida, they're above 50, It's
some
like
parts.
It's like a
right.
retirement
I don't know,
state.
but it seems like some parts.
Yeah, some parts for sure. It's a
Yeah.
retirement state.
I bet you in the bayou.
Bayou.
I bet you that.
I'm saying money. Like if you have money and you want to retire somewhere, there's all these there's like news videos and articles you can watch of just like
it's like a stereotype.
Old people. Well, yes, but it's statistic too.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah,
yeah,
like If you go to the beaches and they're full of old white people or they're full of young, not immigrants, but like the working class, maybe business class, but
you don't think
less white.
There's a young white
there's a
people
situation
in Florida, I think.
Of money, maybe, but like not of like natural. Why is it so criteria? Because when you look at statistics, you have to begin to say, well, if there's populations where it's being controlled 86% by one race, then the same exact situation is flipped on its back in other places or everywhere in the middle. And it all matters. It all matters. That's why I mentioned the cigarette company law, because it matters to them.
Florida's
doesn't matter to us
75% white.
What's that?
Florida's 75% white.
It's only 10% less, but that's a lot.
That's what I was saying.
Could be a lot.
That's what I was saying. There's a lot of white people in Florida.
How far west does it go? But okay, so can you go into age? Because this one you can go.
I mean,
person 65 and years over, and do that. And then do persons under 18 years. That's the
talking about
stuff.
race. We're bold.
Oh yeah.
This is dangerous topics around here. They define white and black. And do you want to hear some definitions that they have for the census? This could be interesting. Because honestly, it used to be a fucking weird percentage. So white, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. It includes people who indicate their race as white or report entries such as Irish, German, Italian, Lebanese, Arab, Moroccan, or Caucasian. Yeah. Interesting.
Jerusalem.
Interesting. So,
Turkey.
But let's say you're Arab and you mark Arab as your race. They put you as white.
Mm-hmm. It's awful. That's not good. Yeah.
So that's interesting as far as stats go. Yeah. Well, let's see black and African American. Wow. A person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. It includes people, how general? It includes people who indicate their race as black or African American, or report entries such as African American, Kenyan, Nigerian, or Haitian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Can we go through?
Florida would have a large black population.
Can we go through American Indian, Asian, and Hawaiian? Mm-hmm. Can we just read through them? These are interesting.
It's very interesting.
American Indian and Alaska Native. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of North or South America, including Central America, and who maintain tribal. They spell it wrong here. They say maintains tribal.
It flips itself on its back. Like as you go into it. Okay, so what's Hispanic? If they're coming from Central America and you're calling them Hispanic, and then
hold on, can I finish through this? Yeah. And then okay, because I got lost and I want to be able to understand your comment because I think I'm not a great reader. A person, I'm going to read it. So it's for American Indian or Alaska Native. This is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, including Central America, and to maintain tribal affiliation or community attachment. The category includes people who indicate their race as American Indian or Alaska Native, or report entries such as Navajo, Blackfeet, Inupiat, Yupik, or Central American Indian groups, or South American Indian groups.
Yee doggy.
Yeah. You have. I feel like so you have Blackfeet. You're part of.
I am Blackfoot. Yes. My dad. Well, as soon as I feel like it's a reasonable thing to spend money on, I want to do the 23andMe because my dad was adopted very young. Mm-hmm. But he told me that I met his mom I think once, and I met his dad a few times, but other than that, my grandpa and grandpa were his adoptive parents, and all of my uncles and aunts, uncles, and then married in people, on my dad's side are adoptive. He was raised with them after they were all adopted together. Mm-hmm. So they all look different, bunch of different races, and not really, but bunch of different like blood and last names, mm-hmm. and they all just look so different that it's like there's not much of a line to follow there. But then he would claim that when he did get back in touch with his mom, she started telling him about how he had family in, when he got out of jail, he went down there. I think it could be Arizona. And they were like 3 generations past a chief of the Blackfoot. It was like her grandmother. So one thing I could do is figure out if grandmothers could be chiefs, mm-hmm. chieftains, which I don't know. That's very mm-hmm. possible. I don't know. And if they couldn't, then it wasn't true. And then I want to do 23andMe because I look Spanish as hell. Like I always get told I look like Portuguese or like Spanish, like Barcelonian. But it would be nice to like.
I could see Spanish.
Yeah.
Having been there a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I've never been to Spain at all. The Dominican Republic has a lot of Spanish blood, but because I think I went into it a little bit, like Spain bought the Dominican Republic, and then France bought Haiti. And mm-hmm. Spain kind of used it as like a colony, and France used Haiti as like a farm, and they would breed it was like since it was so close to the United States, it was a slave port, mm-hmm. And they used it as like a breeding port for slaves, and then they grew corn and tobacco, and then they, like, if you look at Google Earth at the island, the Dominican Republic is beautiful and lush, and Haiti's fractured, like physically, like fault lines, unsaturated soil, dead soil, barren fields, dead trees, because it just can't grow anything on that side of the island. They like destroyed the ecology of the soil
because they abuse it so much mm-hmm. with just the slavery and the cash crops and shit like that. Yeah, cash crops are.
They're doing the same thing in the Amazon now, where like there's never going to be a chance for pharmacologists to go and study, like, you know, explore through the Amazon and be like, oh my God, and then they take it and like go study it, and then that can cause like solve like some enzyme in someone's lung so that they can like heal better. It's never going to happen now because it's all getting cut down for like soy fields and palm oil.
Palm oil, I've heard, is crazy.
Yeah, it's in everything.
Yeah,
it's in
even
everything.
Milk. I
probably just drink palm oil. I just have coffee. It's in there somewhere. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's part of the process at one point or another.
Yeah. Now in the Dominican Republic, you know, when you smoke Swishers, mm-hmm. Where I was in Barcelona, you would drive down to the coast, and then you would take a right to like some restaurants, and there was kind of like a central part down there. And as you turn left and the university's behind you, there's a tobacco plant, and it's like the Swisher Company tobacco plant. And it was huge, dude. It was crazy. And these plant owners that grow the tobacco, they will take, and this happens all over the world, but in my experience, they would take a Haitian mother and their dad, their dad, maybe their husband and their kids, and say, come work for us, we'll pay you. I'm sorry that you're displaced. And then these people have legal papers most of the time, sometimes, and they'll give them to the plant owner to store. The plant owner will lose and shred them up, and then these plants are so, like, we would pass by these plants. You're not walking somewhere to get away from these plants. Even if you have someone pick you up, like, it's just it's like a hard thing to do. It's so far out. And then the plant owners have their own taxi companies, and their own grocery stores inside of the plant, and they just like trap these people in this circulated system of fake money because they give them fake money, and like they're paying a taxi driver with fake
slavery.
money. It's literally slavery. Like here we have indentured service still, in some ways, but that's like slavery. Like there's no way out at all.
It's like a serf.
Surf and kings.
Yes, yeah. It's like serfdoms and shit like that.
Like
what is it? Oh, there's a cool hierarchy. I was trying to look up for you.
I connect that. What?
I was saying I was trying to look up for you whether or not grandmothers can be chiefs in the Blackfoot tribe.
Yeah. Yeah, think about that. I connect our days today with like how much we owe to companies and how much we have to, like with me on being on unemployment. I've worked 6 years. I deserve unemployment.
Yeah.
So I don't have to like feel bad about getting a measly 6,000 if I go through my claim for the next year, which I absolutely will not. And that's from one of my jobs, the current job that I've had for the least amount of time. I don't even think I could, it's Social Security now. I don't even think I could sign into jobs I've worked for before and get money from them if I'm in trouble. It's like, that's gone. 4 jobs, gone. It doesn't matter. It's like, and I might be wrong about that, but like it's so twisted to think that like that's okay. And I'm a fortunate person to be getting my income back, to be having the process work, to like have it be fairly streamlined for me. That's rare. There's a lot. I was listening to 740 KMEL in my car, and there's some people in the city and in like states further inland and then inland from their state lines. They're waiting like 100 days to even like have the process started with the UI online. I just on my phone, it took like a month maybe, and it's just crazy. It's crazy, and they're just like, you're lucky, dude. Take it. That's America. Only in America.
Yeah.
Only in America.
But only in America will we push our ideas and make you also do them. No, not true. But we'll take our ideas and we'll put them other places.
We definitely like to go around the world and to make little baby United States.
Yeah, or at least try to, or claim that we are. So I got this whole feudalism, social hierarchy. That's the name of it, feudalism, which we didn't we didn't get.
No. I thought feudalism was in China, and I didn't know. Maybe they just had different names.
I think feudalism was everywhere. What happened was, for the most part, if I remember this right, before feudalism was like everyone kind of owned the land. It was pretty equal. Like everyone grew shit and stuff like that. You still had a king, but then one day I forget someone makes a decision that they want to privatize the land, and so they decide to start selling it out, and obviously the wealthy end up buying all the land, and what they do is they just hire back on all the people living on it, and they say, all right, I'll sell you this land, but you're going to grow the food and you're going to give me all the food, and then I'm going to ration out the food. Oh, you don't have tools? I'm going to have to rent you these tools. You can pay me each week for that as well. And then they can never leave, and they're stuck on these plots of land, and they have nowhere to go. Like, it's not like you can pick up the phone and just waste some international minutes. It doesn't happen. There's nowhere. You just run if you want to go somewhere. You run. But so we get to the whole hierarchy here. We'll start at the bottom because I think it's so we were talking about. So you have the serfs, the workers, the ones that get entrapped in this system of slavery. It's slavery, like for sure. Like you can't leave. Like it has bells and whistles, but at its core. And then you have the knights or the vassals. So the knights, essentially the mercenaries, the ones hired out. They have power probably through physicality just as much as kind of money. It's probably money, maybe some sort of status. Then you have lords and barons.
Given land as much as a little bit of income.
And
that's really like money in those days. If you have
They
land.
had skills. Skills were very treasured in these times, as opposed to the unskilled worker. skilled workers were the shit. Like when you have like apprenticeship. Yeah. Apprenticeship was huge in this time. Like, throughout history, apprenticeship was always how we did it, and then all of a sudden we just were like unskilled labor and factory lines, man. Then we have the lords and the barons, and that's just another name kind of for it, I think. But this is definitely very money and social and stuff. Then you have the king, and then you have the pope. So you have the church at the top. But fuck, dude, yeah, and that shit's still going on today. Mm-hmm. That feudalism, like you were saying, and I don't know what the reference was to. I meant to say Tom Cruise. Dude. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Scientology. Yeah. Oh, that fucking hierarchy is also crazy.
Stuff. But no, I agree. Yeah, yeah. No, with my experience in construction, it's like you're starting a job and then you have to clothes. Yes, sure. I got to get my boots. I got to get my nice pants. I got to get my nice shirts. I have to have something to cover my face and my head. That's fine. I'll pay for all that. But then when I pay for every single tool that I'm using at work with my check that I get once a week, because I'm lucky. Yeah. You know, that's fucking lucky. And like, okay, so I'm actually getting paid like $300 a week here. And then like, how long does it take? How long are you going to be throwing tools my way to get? Like, this fool was straight up like, he was doing me a favor by pulling open a catalog book for Home Depot and circling the shit that I should go get. Then go on, man. Here's your check. Here's your book. It's like the check had nothing extra on it, and that's my white privilege. I'm like, oh man, like it was so what the fuck? That's crazy. I already had all this other shit going, but like that's like luck, you know. We're in we already won the lottery. I was making good money. Just weird circumstances where it cost extra, and that's like a structure of like oppression that I'm fortunate to not be in a lower spot in, where that stuff is like a joke. That's like a joke. Like, oh, you had to pay for your fucking fucking sucks. Like,
my brain is being blown right now because I felt like we were just making fun of the shirt factory workers for having to buy their own shit, their own tools, and then you think, well, I was like that's you awful. Think it's old. You know what I mean? Like, we were making fun of the fact, like, I can't believe they used to have to do that, like, and then you're like, you think it's old, and you're like, fuck, no, like that's still, it's think still about going on.
To school, it's kind like, of the same thing.
Yeah, as a teacher, I don't want to bring it, but you're right, but you pay for a lot of shit, and nearly every job I've ever seen people work, they have to pay for shit. It's like. That's incredible. There's a point where that's okay, but at the same time, when that's like a business strategy, whoa, like that's gotta. So it's 2020, you know, like we're living good. Let's start using it and like start like waking people up. That would be fucking crazy. Podcast stuff like that. Yeah. Just people wanting to go on YouTube and they're like, oh shit, cool, man. That's like not my goal, but yeah, I love that like that like kind of energy spike where people can be like, oh well, I wasn't really gonna think about that, but sure. Yeah, make people think about stuff they've never thought about before, never even possibly entertained.
And then you learn, like I'm learning.
Yeah, I feel like and that's my favorite part about being a teacher in a way, because that's kind of what our role is right now. That's what me and you are doing. As much as we want to accept it or not, we're talking, and we're not getting any. We're getting nothing. We're teaching in a way, you know. We're sharing the knowledge that we have, that's all it is in any facet. Like a teacher could be, I feel like, fucking anyone.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, and that's what a lot of people get paid to be teachers, whether they realize they're teachers or not. You know, if you're helping someone learn something and you're getting paid to do it, you're fucking teaching. Whether like you're coaching or you're at your work and you're like a manager or something, you got to train someone. It's all valuable skills.
It could be your job to teach and like not being paid for it either. You know? Just like your community position.
I guess that's an argument for what's a job.
Yeah, getting paid for shit. Yeah. Define what's my job in life. Yeah. Like I just go hang out with Joel and Lynn is going to be helping me with taxes, and it's not a job. It's not a job at all. I don't want to. It doesn't feel like a job to me. It would be the worst thing in the world to make it feel like a job to him. And I don't want it to feel like a job to her. It's just like people need people, you know.
Yeah.
He has a friend, Jason, that we're gonna go camping with, and like my friend Marissa, hopefully they like keep talking, and it's just like, don't block people out of community, you know. People have to leave school. People here home, not being able to leave their house, and they're not going to be able to go back to school.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have good family structure. They're just stuck at home right now. Like, that was like their escape. Even if family was paying for it, you know. Sometimes families, it doesn't mean everything at all. I'm going to go get the coffee pot.
Okay, sounds good. We going?
1 hour and yeah, we're on.
Sweet, very nice. Yeah, well, I guess I'll take a peek. I like it. Well, I guess I could.
My therapist is retiring. It's like the saddest news I've had all week.
Oh.
I know.
That's like, I don't know, for some reason I instantly go hairdresser. Like losing a good hairdresser.
Yeah, it is like that. For real. 100%. She's like the best. And you've like told them all of your crazy shit. You're like, here's all of my deepest, darkest secrets. And they're like, I'm leaving you and you have to tell all of this to somebody else.
Yeah, what is that? I still need to do it. I need to sign up for it. I've been lazy. My mom sent me it and I was like, thanks, but
yeah, I just had a good session.
I got the insurance for it. I thought it might be weird though to start on the phone.
We usually do video chats. I mean, I really like her, and like, she's in her 60s. She's about to retire, so obviously, but her and I get along great. I would probably hang out with her and be friends with her. So I'm kind of bummed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we usually video chat, but we just did it on the phone today. It wasn't really fair.
Get some out of here. Read something wrong.
What's up?
It's on its way.
What's on its way?
My phone case.
Oh.
Because I'm petrified of even using it.
Petrified. Like the
Petrified.
wood?
Petrified, like scared. You could be petrified in a book, you know? Like,
Wait, what do you mean?
I was petrified by the sound
Yes.
of the door slowly opening.
Yes.
I knew I was home alone, but there was no windows open.
You're right. Maybe we should tell the people what we've been up to the past couple of
fucking
stuff. I feel like
little update on life.
Yeah. Do you wanna go?
Yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I did blow through my money a little bit, but I had to get some things, trying to set up for being, well, if we are going to be here, being productive, you know, keeping my income steady as well. I haven't been working. I'm going to start working probably next week again quite a bit. And just trying to keep sane. Doing good. I hear people, they keep not reaching out and talking to people, and they're like, I'm just trying to keep sane. And they're not like saying it bad, but it's like, how hard is it to be home? I understand work, like people have their school life to like, that like you grow accustomed to that. And like, especially in the Bay Area, there's like this drive to like keep moving, and we're all not moving, so that's hard. But I feel like a lot of the struggle is social, and I'm always meditating, and I think if this is a time where you feel you're unraveling, that's good. It's good. It is a good time to invest in yourself. That's what I'm trying to do. See, that's what you're trying to do. Hope everyone's trying to do that. And to find new ways to be creative. I've been working on my computer with Ableton Live, which is fairly cheap. There's like I think there's a cheaper one. If you have a MacBook, you can go onto your Apple store and download GarageBand. And it's a music software. And that's really what I'm doing. I got my Nearphone producing headphones, and once I renew my subscription, those things will be working again. But it's like, you pay the subscription, and there's this app that you control the sound through, and they shut it all off because I changed my card and I forgot. And they were like, I just got my cables, so for the last 2 months I haven't been using them. so I haven't been making the payments on them either.
Mm-hmm.
So it like makes no sound at all.
Fuck.
It's crazy. Pretty crazy. But in all fairness, I've only paid a total of like $70 for them, and they're like $400 headphones.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to find a way to stop me from screwing them somehow.
Yeah. The what's it called again?
I'm Ableton Live.
Ableton. Yeah, that's. It's been fun to watch you play with that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we've decided the learning curve looks like it's kind of rough, like the getting involved, getting into it.
It is a software, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're lucky that like we're in this age where you can bypass the, I don't know what the systems were called. They're like ARC systems or something, where you have your sound input and output box, and you have your speaker output or your engineering output or something, and you would literally have to like connect wires to create new sounds and frequencies, and to loop sounds, and to send tracks out other places. And there's all these insane like contextual name knowledge that you have to build, and that's how like that's how the Beastie Boys would have had to do a lot of their stuff. That's how there's like musicians today, all the electronic music you hear, a lot of people just like they did their electronic music, they grew up doing the input output boards, and now they have studio rooms where you can like have a bare wall, and you can build your own wall of soundboards and inputs and outputs, and like it's like the mixing station that I have on my computer right here, but physical things. Like when I click, you're taking a chord out and putting a chord somewhere else. And when I spin this knob here with my mouse, you're like actually on a board spinning knobs and stuff. And like I'm lucky to not be having to do that in a way, because now I'm just like it's on the screen. But you have to like learn all that still on the screen in a way.
Looks complicated.
It's fun and complicated.
Yeah.
I've done a 15-minute intro video on YouTube. I went on Ableton, their website, and they have some videos you can watch to walk you through like the beginning, the whole process of learning to make music on it. And it looks like this when you're in session. And I don't know too much, but I have 3 tracks here. I have a little drum kick, 2 chord sets, and I have my keyboard coming in the mail tomorrow.
Nice.
But
there
right
we
now
go.
I'm using the computer keyboard, and you have to go, when doing all sorts of stuff, you have to go into your preferences. If you download any third-party plugins, you have to go in here and orient them to be able to play through the computer. If I hook up to a speaker, I have to reorient the output here. There's a file folder, MIDI folders, which are kind of like not third-party plugins as in like a software you would buy, like a sound pack, which I think is what the plugins would be. It's like my keyboard. It will go through the MIDI audio files. And right now, one of the only ways I can drag a music sound to play off of the keyboard is if I drop it into a MIDI. But these are all the things I don't know. I don't know what that acronym is for. And even learning that one out.
Would you
what it does.
Would you recommend it if at this point?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If someone has a MacBook or a ThinkPad or anything and they want to make some music, it is so simple. I've literally watched a 15-minute video, and I'll play my little loop that I have a few things I've made, like 3 files.
Yes, awesome.
Just 5 minutes messing around, 10 minutes messing around, you change. This is the session view, but this is the producer view. Oh, I'm not. So I'm hooked up to that, but I didn't go. I should have done that when I was talking about it. So to get the sound from the software to play through your speaker, I have to go into the audio file, audio output device. Right now it's on built-in audio output. Now I have to change it to the Nebula 1 gear. And now when I play it, it'll go through your speaker. Nice. And I can make loops with the sounds I have made. can set the time of the song to the loop. Once I have the loop set, I can shrink it. So I can give this in my feels. I make feel songs, dude. So there's that loop.
I like the piano, man. I'm excited to get the real piano.
I can.
Fuck, it makes me. I want to like grab my guitar.
I know.
I love to. We gotta get more music on here.
You can do some. I think there will be ways to record off of a mic. I'll be able to plug in mics. Really, what the software is for is that you have your computer and the software, and then you have your like speaker sets, and you have your instrument plugins, and you have your keyboard plugins, and you buy your sound packs and your drum kits and your MIDI effects and your plugins.
Yeah.
I've only bought one $90 pack, and it's a keyboard. That's cathedral wave pipes under my electric sounds instrument pack that I paid $100 for.
Okay.
And in that pack, there's like not many bass. I press the little triangle, it throws down the files that are available for that sound. But pianos and keys, there's a lot. So each one of those is an instrument. So I drag that into this file here, or when I scroll down over here, this drop files here, I put that there, and it's a new audio file for me to play instruments with.
Nice.
So let me stop this. I'll take one of these, one random one. And see, I can't drop at certain places. Like right here, I can't drop that. That's because that's for samples.
Sorry, folks, we're being selfish. We don't care, though. I'm learning.
Yeah, no, I'll show you that here. And then they'll be able to hear this. It's a new instrument.
Okay, nice.
And you can do that as many.
Through your keyboard?
Yeah, I think the one I paid for, I can do up to 12 files, so I can just drop again and again.
I
click through them.
I do have to kind of say I like a physical instrument better.
You can't do as much.
You can't do as much, but you can do what you can better. That's cool, though. I feel like you're going to take me to church.
It's fun.
I said, rise up. Rise up on your podcast feed. Take me out. See, I could play easily guitar over this.
That's what it's about. You add them all together, man.
All right, next podcast we should play some music.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm down. I want to get the guitar out here. I want to whatever we can get that thing going, and we can have some real fun with it.
You can cut that out I just made. It's gone. We just do this forever. And in times where I used to be, last night, I tried to go to bed before I went off to hang out with Joel. And I ended up I almost fell asleep, and I ended up on the computer making a little, just on there messing around for a second.
Nice.
And it's less, once you do spend the 15 minutes to get used to like whatever you want to start with, it's not like the frustrating, and I've played it, I don't know instruments, but I've played music for a while. Like I learned guitar for a little bit. I was on a keyboard, like the electronic like plug-in keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
I think like
we're gonna get one here,
months.
like I was saying.
That'd be really fun.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I just get frustrated with it.
Oh yeah?
I my heart is in like producing software music.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and that will like, because I need the drive to like to be having like that return of, oh fuck dude, I'm making second by second here. I'm just making clicks. Yeah, I guess production. Yeah, and if I gotta do it quick. I gotta do it quick.
Yeah, I I never knew I would ever like instruments in my life. Like I didn't understand. Like I had like one friend who was in band when I was in school, and I didn't really know what the fuck was going on. It was like some mystical place you'd go off to and then return, and it was like, well, I don't know. It was interesting, but like I never saw myself as artistic or anything. And then, and then when did you pick up guitar? I picked it up in high school. My parents, my dad got me one for my birthday.
Oh, cool. I think my parents did get me like a cheap, not cheap,
and mine
like
was
a Walmart guitar.
Cheap. Yeah. Mine was, well, I was like 100. It's probably like 70, 80, mine.
I don't know how much it was.
Yeah.
It was like a Walmart guitar once. I remember seeing it. So like,
yeah,
I wasn't too young, and that didn't stick, and that was the only instrument I had a set of drums when I was really young in Nevada too.
Okay.
And then I didn't have any instruments until my buddy Kyle Foster, when I had to have been past my halfway through my sophomore year. He's the dude that's been playing guitar since he was like 5. I was talking about a few days ago. That like kind of got me into music itself, and he sold me an electric and an amp that he wasn't using for like, it was really cheap. It was like $60 or maybe $180, and then like 2 lessons. And he taught me the scale that I know, and then all the chords I know. I like kind of taught myself. From that, I like learned harmony, what chords not to play, how to stop when you're like in a bad space of chords, and none of these are fucking. This doesn't even sound like anything at all. And then to restart where you were before, and then like we were practicing a little bit for a few seconds, and like the metronome. Great place.
Metronome's huge.
Thinking about like what you're like actually doing.
If I could stress anything as far as
huge
musical training goes, the metronome is so big, and it's boring and it's tedious, and I get that. But it works.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to ignore what works for what's fun. I understand that, but stop being lazy and fucking
do the good work.
Do the good work right in the first place. Like I've something I've been trying to figure out is a good habit for when I'm done teaching English in the mornings. So I finally started that, which I love. The kids are absolutely adorable. I'm teaching, just to clarify, English online at like from like 4 a.m.
And they're like in the middle of their day.
Well, it's like nighttime actually kind of for them. Yeah, okay. So it's it kind of goes from like about 6 to about like 6:30 to about 8:30 kind of. But I'm trying to build like good habits like when I'm done, and I don't know exactly what habits like I want to build, like what I want to do. Like, should I go to bed? Should I stay up? I don't know what's best for the rest cycle. And I was going somewhere with this whole habit fucking thing, and I got focused too much on the English stuff.
4 o'clock from 4 o'clock. That's 4 hours. 12. 8 p.m. That's like an 8-hour day. If you wake up at 8.
Oh no,
maybe just take a nap.
I normally can go back to bed. I couldn't go back to bed today. It was weird. At first I just tried to go to sleep, and then I turned on like episode of TV, took a bong rip, watched it up, tried to like get tired again, and that didn't fucking work. I will like I want to I guess I want to jump subjects as far as the way I've been reacting to the teaching is something new. Like I always think it's interesting when I'm learning something new, like how I react to the failures and like the successes of it. And but like ever since I acknowledged my anxiety, it's been a lot better, but it's also a lot more apparent. And when I wake up for some of these teaching lessons, especially the first 2, today it was still kind of bad. I had the worst fucking anxiety. Have you ever seen Charlie Chaplin in like this Factory movie?
It's me all the time.
have you seen Charlie Chaplin in that Factory movie?
I've seen like skits. No, not the whole thing.
Okay, well the part like he gets super twitchy in it. He's supposed to be like a machine or some shit like that, and he's doing these cranks.
Yeah.
And he gets all like, and then once he stops, he can't stop, and he gets all twitchy.
Yeah.
Like my body physically gets like twitchy when I get anxiety.
Oh, the specific scene I remember.
Yes.
He's like moving.
Yeah, he's trying to do the cranks, and he does it the whole movie. He cranks like a girl's tits and shit like that. Like it's insane, like the shit that he's doing. He's cranking people's noses. He's cranking this. He's cranking that. But regardless, like that's how my body like kind of reacts. Like I get super fucking twitchy when I get anxious. Like my brain is fine, but my body is like, the fuck's going on here? Like I wrote in my I wrote a quote here that I fucking loved, and it felt powerful when I wrote it down. Let me find it super quick. I have a lot more in here than I thought. Alright, so this is how I reacted to my anxiety when I had it. I wrote, my brain and body are scared of the strength of my soul, so much that it shakes the core of me. You know, like that's how I described it. Like I just got a strong fucking energetic ass soul, and my brain and body are like, it just can't contain it.
Yeah.
That's how I tried to stay powerful in my head. I like to be a superhero in my own life, you know?
Yep.
I think
you gotta be.
Yeah.
It's important. She opened the blinds. I'm scared.
No. Are we spying on her since we're outside? It's hard to say. But yeah, no, I like I'm such a pretender. I love using my imagination to kind of inspire me to do things, or get me to do something I necessarily don't want to do. I'll do that shit a lot, especially for like workouts and shit. I'll make up little storylines in my head and whatnot. Yeah. 100%.
I try to do that with my anxiety a lot. Well, I guess it works. Something I do in the morning. If I do wake up and I feel that, like, I woke up feeling like I told Jolie, I was like, I woke up this morning feeling like an ostrich. Like my hair will be everywhere, and I don't want to cut it. And I just figured out hair ties, and I would be like, okay, so you can't shower because you're gonna destroy the health of your hair, because I'm trying to like get it back from being, it just frays. It's so dry and it's like painful. It's like it hurts my soul. It gets in my face. I can't do stuff. And then I just got these glasses. They're less than a year old. I've worn contacts forever, and I'm extremely blind. So that's like an extreme stressor. Like if there's anxiety, take away 30% of your vision. Like I can't see anything except for like right here. I have to like literally look where I'm looking all the time. So that like stresses. It doesn't stress me out, but it takes at my anxiety so bad. So I'm like meditating all the time, and it frustrates me so bad when I not hear people like short mention meditation, but like short mention their ability to be something, and that will get me. Where it's like, you didn't even have to say that out loud.
What do you mean? I'm intrigued.
Like my family would, to make it simple, my family would be like, I'm self-sustaining. I'm self-sustaining. I'm not freaking out. And it's like, you're freaking out. Just because like you are verbalizing that you don't freak out doesn't mean you're not freaking me out. And like I can feel it. Like my mom's going to work, and then she like anything that my sister needs from her as like a kid, like she's young, and she was young. It's like so much, and that's like, you're not handling it, and that leaks into everywhere. It leaks into everywhere. So in the morning I wake up and I lay in my bed, and when I do feel that anxiety, because it's a certainty, I say to myself, you have anxiety, you suffer from depression, and that's okay. And I just say that over and over again until I'm in a different space and I forget that I woke up feeling like that as much as I can. And then I'll move on with my day, and like you said, processes of what to do to not fall back into that space or feel that anxiety. It's important.
Yeah, I like it. The way
like
you described
the
that.
placebo thing. I guess that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not placebo. Thank you. It's not placebo, but it is. Because like, how much does that do physically throughout my day. Because I'm telling you, the days that I remember to take that moment to check in and say, that's all right, I feel so much better. It lasts through the day. It reminds me to not fall into these anxieties and these things that are serious that I need to think about at some point right now, because right now isn't the best time. And if I did anything wrong to my past in the last couple years, to like, not my family, if I bring something up to my sister or my mom, it's because it had to be brought up then. There's no other time. But with like my relationships or my friends, to like I couldn't threshold it. It was like everywhere all the time. All my family shit, my anxieties, my job. It's all I was living, because I would go hang out like maybe once a week or so. And all my life was like, get to work, get back home from work in time for the dog not to be home alone all day, because I had a Rottweiler. And we kind of lived alone in my mom's house, but she was never there, and my big sister was always living with like a boyfriend or so, and it was her dog. So I was just like, okay, this dog needs someone to like take care of it. And that's kind of how it started when I was like leaving the age of 16, 17. And then it was literally like, that's your dog. Like they couldn't pay for the food, they weren't around, they couldn't walk him. And then all of a sudden I'm supposed to be moving out, and my sister was like living with her boyfriends where she physically couldn't have the dog. So the conversations began, the conversation stopped being like, oh, you live in the house and Nico loves you. It was like, that's your dog. And then like within a year, from like the end of 16 to the end of 17, like that was my dog. The conversations had come and went where I was like, if there's no, we can't just, like they were trying to send him to a farm in San Francisco. We dropped him off at my buddy Joey's house to see if he could live there. We took him to another guy that no one knew, but had offered he wanted a Rottweiler, but he was like 4 years old.
Was he well behaved at all, or? He
was well behaved to people he knew. Yeah. But my sister and her boyfriend raised him to be a security dog, and then left him. So he didn't like that training wasn't completed. He didn't know how to like be a security dog. So I would have to like introduce him to people, and it wasn't quite like a sensible thing for him. Like it wasn't like, oh, okay, sniff, sniff, sniff. I haven't been hit yet, or this person hasn't like stuck a knife in me yet, so I'm not gonna like be scared of them. It would like, they had to be around for like 5-10 minutes just talking with me, and then Nico would like, the first 40 seconds they're there, he would sniff at their feet and then like be kind of scared and like go away from them.
Dogs are scary, man.
Yeah, it's scary. So it's a
beast.
So then he'd go sit down, and I'd be like, and these people, I want to introduce him to someone that it's a whole thing. If it's someone like you or like a lot of people that are like, that's terrifying, that dog's gonna fuck me up, he feels that, and it takes longer. Yeah. I had one friend, Connor, who was terrified of him, and he still kind of wanted to meet him. He wasn't full on scared, but he was like, Nico felt it, and it was the hardest person to introduce him to ever. And Connor got frustrated at Nico, and Nico was like terrified of Connor, and they ended up not meeting again until I was back living somewhere else with Nico. And we had to do another introduction. And every time after that, Connor would hang out with Nico, he would always joke and be like, Nico, you remember me now, Nico? And Nico would love him then because he had
So Nico's the dog.
Him. Yeah.
That got real.
I'm so sorry.
Trippy.
Nico's the dog. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
His name is
You're
Nico.
good.
Nico Bear. So that fucked him up, and it was a hard thing to like deal with for people, for sure. Right?
Yeah.
So like I couldn't like, it wasn't like just like, oh yeah, dude, I got a dog and I got a job and this car, it's sick. It like everything had some stupid other largely extending like prong attached into something else. And I was like living my life like hanging on this, like, I mean, in all, like you said, the quote, it's a beautiful quote. In my books, it's just quote after quote, journal writing after journal writing, poem. Like my poems are like 6 pages long, 7 pages long, most of the time. I'm just like flooding, and all of them are about like an explosion of soul being trapped by the situation that sits as like reality. Like everybody feels that in some sense, where you're like waiting to live out, not to live out, but like to listen to the world around you, and to listen to like that that energy output to change your existence and like your what you can touch, and then what you have to do in daily life. Like they very often pull you in complete opposite like directions.
Yeah, I just found out my mom's grandma has a whole poetry book, and I had no fucking clue until yesterday.
Wow.
I think I would love poetry. Mm-hmm. Like I think I would love it. I've never really explored it. I've written some poetry, but I've never like actually taken it seriously. In this book, The Tribe of Mentors, my brother gave it to me, great book, but nearly a lot of these mentors, they suggest like what has been like a practice you've undertaken that has helped you been most successful, or like what's an investment, and like maybe like 1/4 mentions some form of poetry. And it seemed, I'm like, fuck yeah. And then I just talked to my mom about poetry. She's like, oh yeah, my grandma has a whole book of poetry. I'm like, where the fuck's that book? She's like, it's at the house. And I'm like, this is bull. The things I don't know. Like I am so unintrusive with my family history. Mm-hmm. I don't know much. Like you're talking about heredity type stuff. Yeah. Like I know I'm a quarter. I know I'm a quarter Portuguese, but I don't know. My mom did a gene test, but I never even asked her. So I'm curious, but I'm passively curious about most of that shit. But have you seen? And we've been going for a while. I'm pretty down to close this out here soon. I don't know, and maybe if we have any final thoughts, we can put out there. But I do want to ask: have you seen any of those like YouTube videos where people find out they're not the like background that they thought they were? Mm-mm. Oh, it's fascinating. It's like you like there's some videos where it's like extreme, where it's like you have people that are racist towards a certain background, and then but they already know these people's like actual background, so that's why they focus on them, and then the people figure out that the people they're racist towards, they're that race or whatnot, or that ethnicity or nationality, or I'm never good at those, but regardless, and then like shocked, and there's this like moment of acceptance. Do you like? I think I've been telling people I'm Portuguese my whole life, and like I don't feel very connected to it at all, but I kind of do. Do you think do you think you'd be affected? Like what if you weren't Blackfeet? You know, what if you were just
I've completely equipped myself to be shocked. Like
oh, okay, no, fuck like, yeah, that's cool.
You're 80% Spanish. I'm prepared.
Well, what if it says you're no Spanish? What if it says you're Irish?
I guess I'm prepared to be very excited whatever it is. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm more than excited to be wrong. Yeah,
because I truly for what it
don't
is.
know. And like knowing my dad, I'm just prepared for it to not be true. I'm prepared to not be Blackfoot for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do tell people I'm American Indian, but if I'm asked on like some paperwork stuff, I'm white because I don't know. You know, I'm not like it said like. That's when I started mentioning like how do you what is this definition thing that it's doing? Because in the census, it says Hispanic, non-white, which would be Spain, which is not in Central America. It's in Europe. Spanish, but Hispanic. Hispaniola, that's Spain. I'm trying to figure out if like I know of any reasons in particular they would be claiming like Hispanic as like other than like.
Well, you look
slang.
Hispanic.
No, not me, but like if you're from.
Or you look Spanish.
If you're from like.
I think Hispanic is Latin America.
Yeah, so Latin America, Spain, right? Like that's.
No, Latin America is not Spain.
That's Central America.
No, Spain is Europe, like you said. Mm-hmm. I don't know what.
Do they speak Latin? Yeah, see, I'm confused about the whole thing. I guess my point was, at the very end, it said that is still connected to your tribe. You know, like people of Central America or American original origin that is still connected to your tribe. But we didn't. I wanted to read the Hispanic non-white definition because does that mean that you are the same exact origin of descent but you're not connected to your tribe? Is that when you'd say I'm Hispanic non-white, but I'm not connected to my tribe? And is that the same thing I'm doing with saying I'm not connected to my tribe, I'm non-Hispanic white?
They don't even mention Hispanics in here.
Interesting. And the one I was looking at, it said it had a Hispanic thing.
And this is Florida? I don't know. It's weird.
Non-white, I think.
You got anything else you want to talk about or add?
Yeah, I guess we talked a lot about race today. My exit to the ethnicity conversation is that ethnicity doesn't matter about everything, but I do see in a lot of people, like you said, you feel like suffocated in a way about the knowledge that you did gain about your family. That does, and it can bleed into this common thought of just there's practicing now in meditation, and then there's just toppling through the point of existence that you're in, and you don't care about where you're from, you don't care about where your country's monetary values from, and you don't care about anything past like what you're seeing with your eyes daily and maybe what you check out on your phone. And if thinking about ethnicity in your region helps you spread your perspective past the United States, albeit that's the point of conversation. But if to be racist and to make it about not only statistics but this place, it's obviously a problem with immigration because just look at the street, that's not right. That's not what anybody should be talking about at all. And it does come up. My grandparents do. That was me and my grandma all day. She's just like, immigration's crazy, talking about how we couldn't go to college for free but Spanish people could, which I think is like the initiative first initiative programs and stuff like that or something. But I wanted to point out the fact that it's about perspective, and that the world isn't full of the United States. It's not full of white people. Whether that's what you see every day, like the United States, its birth was from a Norwegian Dutch island that is now called New York, that step by step birthed itself into a multinational broth. I was thinking, I almost said brothel. Soup, the mixing bowl of ethnicity. And then that's what the United States is about, and that's why we still need to talk about the percentage of ethnicity in the United States. We need to get down to the core of that, and realize that specifically in the San Jose Bay Area community, we are ran by white money, and we're ran by electronics, which is white money. Whether they pull interns from India and the Middle East to fill up their companies for cheap work and to fill up their quotas for initiative programs, it's white organized money. And that's Sonoma County, SSU, all the reason our sports programs aren't as prominent and as built up as the art programs. That's why, I disagree on that point. Okay. yeah, absolutely. You can, but I definitely think that the art and tennis team in maybe even in Anaheim, just further from the coast, aren't going to be as prominent and funded as Sonoma State. Yeah. That's my extra.
All right. Sounds good. We ready to sign off? Well, I think we've officially gone off track here, Zach. Thanks so much for hanging out and staying tuned, everyone. This is fun. I like that. I think we got through kind of the thick of it. We got through the technology issues. Technology is great at this point. So now it's just making content, figuring out where we want to go from here. Sound good?
Yeah, I was. Oh man, I messed that up. I didn't know what you were talking about for a second. I thought you were talking about electronics, as in we're talking about San Jose. But
no. I was just talking about all this YouTube. shit.
I feel comfortable that we're past the electronic hurdle.
Yeah.
Getting everything settled on uploading, and I have the laptop if we need it, and the phone if we need it. It's not. All our eggs aren't in one basket, knowing nothing.
I feel like now we have more room to spread our creativity wings.
Yeah.
We got the kind of the bullshit out the way. Now it's content. Maybe a Instagram page in our future. I don't know. But I had one of my friends request it. So we'll see. But alrighty. Thanks everyone, and we'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good shit, Zach. That's fun.
Oh, where's my remote? I don't know.